it's Jose from Florida Vision Technology again, and today we're going to look at a Braille display called the Brailliant BI 40X, a Braille display designed by Humanware. But before we do that, you know what's coming. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and share this content. As always, we greatly appreciate it. Awesome, so let's go ahead and take a look at the physical description of the device itself. So we're gonna look at the top panel. Here we have our Perkins style keyboard, our backspace, our enter key, 2 space bars right below the Braille display. We have 40 cells going from left to right, and above each Braille cell, we have a cursor routing key. Now to the left and the right of those Braille cells, we have 3 function keys. In the top left corner and the top right corner, we have stereo speakers. Right now, this device does not have audio on it, but in the future, it definitely will. Looking at the left panel, you're gonna see that we have a USB Type-C port that we can use for charging and transferring data. Now, this device does take about 4 hours to charge. It has 15 hours of battery life. In the center, we have our power button, and then we have a USB Type-A. That way we can access thumb drives and external hard drives. Super cool stuff. Looking on the right panel, we have a 3.5mm jack. That way we can connect a physical headset. And then we have a volume up and a volume down key. Right now, again, this device does not support audio, but that is something that's coming out later this year. On the front of our Braille display, we have those traditional thumb keys that we've grown to love over the years on previous Braille products designed by Humanware. From left to right, we have previous, left, right, and next. These thumb keys allow us to do things like navigate through menus, scroll our Braille display, and control screen readers when we're using the device as a Braille display. In the center, we have a home button that takes us to the main menu of this device. So the Brailliant BI 40X is running software called KeySoft Lite. For those of you who have used an Apex, Braille No Touch, you'll be very familiar with this software. So KeySoft Lite is what drives the user experience on Humanware's Braille devices. Within KeySoft Lite, we're going to have applications that are going to let us do different things other than just using our display as a standard Braille display. But we're going to get into that next. Alright guys, let's take a look at the user interface of the Brailliant BI 40X. Now those of you who use the Braille Note Apex, Braille Note Touch, and Braille Note Touch Plus, you're familiar with the software that's on there called KeySoft. The Brailliant BI 40X has KeySoft Lite on here, so not only can we use it as a standard Braille display, but we also have other applications that allow us to do things like create documents, access library services, and much more. So I'm going to wake my device up by pressing the power button one time. There we go. We are in our KeySoft Lite menu, and the first item here is Terminal. And we're just going to navigate through all the different applications and the options that we have real quick. So we have Terminal, Editor, Victor Reader, File Manager, Calculator, Date and Time, Options, Online Services, User Guide, Power Off, and we're back at Terminal. So the Terminal application allows us to connect our Brailliant BI 40X to third-party devices like computers, tablets, and smart devices that are running a screen reader. For this demonstration, I have my device connected to my iPad using VoiceOver. Now everything that you're going to hear my iPad speak out loud will show up on my refreshable Braille display here on my Brailliant BI 40X. So I'm going to use the previous and next thumb keys to navigate up and down on my screen. Let's try next to go down.
Calendar, Monday, May 10, 5 noon clock, 1:21 p.m. Home.
Right, so next takes me down.
Photos, 1 camera.
Previous takes
Photos,
me up.
1 home.
I'm going to navigate down till we hear pages.
Voice, contact, map, find, apps, book, pod, TV, news, stop, mesh, setting, page, dot, Safari, music, mail, file, suggestion, pages.
Here we go. And now I can press a cursor routing key to double tap on the screen. So pressing a cursor routing key on my Brailliant BI 40X is going to do the same thing as a double tap gesture. Let's give that a shot.
Pages.
Here we go.
Cancel.
So now we're in the Pages document. Let's create a new document.
Choose a template. Heading.
Okay.
Recent.
We want
Basic.
to choose a basic template. So here I've navigated to basic. I'm gonna press a cursor routing key above some Braille, and keep in mind I'm doing all this with the Brailliant BI 40X. I am not touching the iPad at all.
Blank. Empty
All right.
white portrait document.
So now we are in our blank document.
Blank landscape.
Let's navigate.
Blank, blank.
Oh, we're not in the
Empty
document. Okay.
blank,
Let's
blank.
pick
Empty
blank
white
portrait document.
Blank.
All right.
Empty
so I
white
clicked on
portrait
that.
document.
Let's see what happens. There we go.
Enter
So
reader
now
mode.
we are in
Canvas.
our
Body.
document.
Text field.
All right,
Is
so I'm going to
editing.
make sure my
Word
cursor's
mode.
there by clicking on it
Insertion point
on the
at
edit
start.
field. Here we
Actions
go.
available.
Now on my Braille display, I do have dot 7 and dot 8 blinking to let me know my cursor's there. And then I can start typing in this document to take notes. This is a test. Put a period.
Test period.
There we go. Very cool. So on my Braille display, I'm able to read what's in my Pages document, and someone who's sighted, they can look at my iPad and see exactly what I'm typing. So that's really cool. So again, with Terminal on the Brailliant BI 40X, it allows you to use your device as a standard Braille display with a computer, a tablet, a phone that's running a screen reader. Anything that screen reader is reading out loud will show up on the refreshable Braille display. So that's super cool. So what I really like about the Brailliant BI 40X is that we have the ability to create text files right on the device itself. So if we navigate down to Editor and press Enter on it, we're presented with a few different options. We have Create File, Open File, Editor Settings, and Close. Now, because this device is running a version of Keysoft, we also have first letter navigation, just like the Braille Note models. So I'm gonna hit C for Create. There we go, Create File. Let's press Enter on there. And now I am in a blank document. So for those of you who have used Keyword in the past on previous Braille Note models, you have your left margin, your right margin, and of course your cursor in the middle. And from here, I can go ahead and use the Perkins style keyboard to type whatever notes I want to take. So let's go ahead and try this. I'm gonna put hello world. I'm gonna put an exclamation point. Now, as you can see, as I'm typing, that right margin is moving to the right, and here is my cursor, my dots 7 and 8. Now, what's really cool about the Brailliant BI 40X is just like the Braille Note Touch and the Braille Note Touch Plus, we have access to our context menu. So if I press space with M, here we go. We have File menu, Edit menu, and Close. So let's navigate to File menu. Let's press Enter. And here we have all the different options that we can do underneath File menu. For example, we have Create File, backspace with N, Open File, backspace with O, and so on. So if you ever forget the commands that you want to do or the options that you want to do within this application, you simply just do space with M for your context menu. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to hit Enter on Save. So here we have Save, and I now know the shortcut key for save is space plus S. So let's go ahead and hit Enter. It says File Name. I'll call this, let's see, we'll just call it BI Test. All right, press Enter. It said Saved. Very cool. And now we are back in our document. So I'm gonna do space with E to exit. Here we are back in our keypad menu. I'm gonna do space with E again to go back. And we are back in our main menu on the editor option. That's so cool. So the Victor Reader app is really cool on this device. We have the ability to download Braille books from different services like NLS Bard and Bookshare. And once we download those books from those services, we'd access them using our Victor Reader application. So I'm gonna press Enter on there. And right now I don't have any books downloaded to my device, but let's see what we got going on. So we have Book List, Recently Read, Search, and Close App. That's really cool. So let's take a look at Key Files. This is the application that we use to organize our files and folders on our internal storage or thumb drives. So if I press Enter on File Manager, I'm presented with storage. I don't currently have a thumb drive connected. If I did, I would be able to choose it here. We're gonna press Enter on Storage. Now we're presented with different folders like Books and documents. So I'm gonna press enter on documents. And here we have our bitest.txt, the file that we created earlier in the editor application. So that's really cool. I'm able to create folders, move them around, copy, cut them, paste them, all that cool stuff. If I wanted to edit this file or add more to it or just read it, I could simply press enter on it. Or if I want to know all the things I could do within my key files application, I can bring up my context menu again by pressing space with M. There we go. /unmark, /unmark all, open, info, rename, delete, etc., etc., etc. So it's very easy to use, easy to navigate. If you forget how to do something, again, context menu is your best friend. So for those of you that are students, you'll be happy to know that the Brailliant BI 40X does have a built-in calculator, also known as KeyCalc. We're just gonna press enter on there real quick. There we go. Now we are in our calculator. You see that here we have a .8 to let us know that we're using computer braille. We also have our left and right margin. So I want to go ahead and put an equation in. So I'm just going to do, I don't know, let's pick a random number. We're going to do 256 plus 322 equals. And then it shows me my answer, 578. If I don't recall what a plus symbol is, a minus symbol, again, I have access to my context menu, so space with M. And here it shows us the different options. For example, we have equals, clear, plus, minus, multiply, divide, etc., etc., etc. So the context menu is available on this application as well, making this app for the Brailliant BI 40X super easy to use. So we have date and time. We press enter on there. It gives us our date. Well, actually, it gives us our time. So right now my braille display shows that it is 1:57 and 21 seconds p.m. If I navigate down, we have our date here. So it says 5/10/2021. Let's see if our context menu works here. Very cool, it does. So if I press space with M, I have the ability to change time. Navigate down, we have change date. Then we have daylight savings. Time format, and then we have date format, and then back. So that's super cool stuff, right? It's always good to know what the date is and what time it is. So let's take a look at the different online services that we have access to on the Brailliant BI 40X. I'm just gonna press enter on online services. And here I have access to things like Bookshare, NFB Newsline, NLS Bard, and Close. So what's really cool is that if I'm connected to Wi-Fi and I log into one of these services using my credentials, I can search for, download, and read books right on the device itself. Super cool stuff. How amazing is that, guys? With this braille display, we can connect it to a computer that's running a screen reader. We have 15 hours of battery, access to third-party library services, a word editor. I mean, this thing is a total powerhouse. Anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video. Again, my name's Jose. My email address is jose@floridareading.com. That's JOSE@floridareading.com. And from here, I'm gonna be signing out.